Hello, this is Damla Aktekin with A Drop of Om. I am here to talk to you about your vibrational reality and how and why you need tools, practices, and the occasional help to tend to and care for your vibrational reality. So let's start with this idea that you're not just flesh and bone, and that you're an electrical, multidimensional being who exists in a sea of electrical charge. And not only that, if you look beyond the physical, if you look at the atomic level, and if you look beyond that to the subatomic level, according to quantum physics, on the subatomic level, you're not just made up of the atoms, the protons and the neutrons and the electrons. Beyond that, underneath that, the current theory is that there are these strings of light that vibrate. So when I say that you're a vibrational being, I'm talking about the fact that your physical body is also a vibrational being. And not only that, your existence extends beyond your physicality, about 6 to 15 feet on either side. Think about yourself within a bubble of electricity and vibration. And in that vibrational field that you are, your heart is actually an electromagnetic field generator. In that vibrational being that you are, there are lots and lots of songs and harmonies and disharmonies happening. This is, by the way, what I also mean when I say a drop of Om. You are basically Om, meaning Om symbolizing the vibration of the commonness of the universe, that we all vibrate. We're all vibrational beings, and everything you see around you is a vibrational being. And you're a drop of Om in a sea of Omness. So you're a vibrational being in a sea of vibrations. So what do I mean by the harmonies and the disharmonies of your vibrational beingness? We all go through life, and we all have life experiences. So what I know as a healer is that they leave a mark on you. And not only they leave a mark, they also leave a mark on your DNA. They affect the song of who you are. So whether these experiences are positive or negative, or seemingly positive or seemingly negative, what we live through, as well as what we get as an inheritance through our DNA, has a song. And in this song, there are lots of melodies. There's the melody of your heart, the organ, as well as the heart chakra. There is the melody of your liver, which holds records of your paternal ancestry, your relationship with your dad. But within that, I want you to understand that you are responsible for your vibrational reality. What do I mean by that? We all come with certain vibrational feats, like I said, the DNA, the things that our parents, our caregivers have been through. Their vibrational patterns get imprinted on us, and then we add our vibrational experiences on top of it to create our current reality. But here's the thing, if we had accepted our current reality as being solid, non-moving, non-evolving, yes, there's nothing you can do about any of that, right? There's nothing you can do about your genetic inheritance. There's nothing you can do about all the stuff that affect you. But that's not the truth. The truth is that you're a vibrational and evolving reality and being. What that means is that each and every moment you have a chance to change and affect not just your physicality, but the bubble around you, your vibrationality. I don't know if that's a word, but you can affect your vibration. And I don't mean, the new age, you need to vibrate high. I don't mean that. What I mean is being in harmony, being present and okay in your body, and moving from feeling the effects of a trauma or stress, moving from being constricted to being opened up. Because what we do is when we go into stressful situations, our bodies and our systems bring back all of those disharmonies that they stored, and they're like, this looks dangerous. This email that you got looks a lot like the trauma that you experienced when you were 3-year-old, and then we go into a fight or flight mode. So when I say, why you need tools and practices to care for your vibrational reality, what I mean by that is you begin with the body, or you can begin with the vibrational field. However you begin, you have a chance each and every moment, or you can begin with the breath, and you have a chance each and every moment to get into a stance, position, and a vibrational beingness that is not just like curled up in a ball, waiting for things to happen, being frozen, or being in a fight or flight, fighting with the world or fighting with yourself, versus you can get embodied. You can tend to the electrical currents in you. When you're constricted and when you're in that curled up position, things cannot flow as they need to in your electrical, electromagnetic, and beautiful vibrational reality. So that means you have a chance each and every moment, working with your breath, working with your body, working with your vibrational field, using your consciousness to shift and change your reality. And we all need to do that regardless of how we live. So here's the thing. I want you to imagine yourself as this tiny dot, which is your physical body. And then imagine this beautiful bubble around the dot, which is your vibrational reality, which includes the body. Your body is vibrational as well. And then imagine this small dent on one side of the beautiful bubble. So there's this small dent, which represents you get a wound, you need something and you don't get it in the way that you need it. So in your beautiful balloon, gets a little dent on one side. So what happens there is that, what I want you to understand is that as soon as that dent gets into place, what needs to fill the dent is also there. I'm going to say that again. As soon as you make a little dent in your bubble, which is the wound or an unmet need or something traumatic happening to you that needs to be addressed, as soon as that happens, the way to address it, the way to meet that need, the way to fill that void, the way to heal that wound also gets created by the universe. It's just the electrical reality. Like you create this, collapse in something to fill that, and to uncollapse it is also going to get created. So what happens when we live here in this constricted state is that we're not able to allow those resources, those unlimited ways of potentials to enter into our lives to fill that void. Your daily practice of tending to your needs, working with your nervous system, calming down your nerves, is going to allow you to, let's imagine your bubble being here, and then you get it and it gets a little smaller. So those practices are going to allow you to expand a little bit. Expand and open pathways in you and around you. So that when life wants to fill in and meet your needs, you're not going to be like, oh my God, I'm curled up in a ball. I can't even let things be met, I can't meet the opportunities as they come to me. Versus you tend to your needs, and there are certain tools like EFT tapping, like guided meditation, like conscious breathing, and changing your perspective around meeting your needs, working with those limiting beliefs around meeting your needs. That's going to allow you to keep your bubble expanded and stay open to possibilities. Here's the other thing that I want you to understand and be very clear about. When you're working with your vibrational field, yes, you can do some work on your own, and I want you to do the work, do the practices, and use the tools that I teach in my online programs and online courses. I want you to use them every day. But there are certain wounds, there are certain unmet needs that when you're expanding your bubble, you're gonna hit a wall. It's gonna be like, I can't go here. Like, there's a wall here. I can't pass by myself. And you need help when you hit those wounds or when you hit those limiting walls. And that's where the private work with a healer comes in. That's the work that I do. What we would do together is we would dive into that wound together. We would hear, listen, understand where it's coming from, the roots of it. We would give it voice, and then we would untangle it so that when you go home and when you work with your own tools, you can get to that expanded state easier, and it takes less effort and time and energy for you to stay expanded, stay grounded in your body. And I want to make clear that, the distinction between seeing a healer or, tending to your needs, seeing a healer and tending, whether it's me that you see or someone else that you work with. So whether you see a healer or tend to your needs and do it yourself, if you will. So the other reason you would want to go see a healer is that, let's say you're working on your own, you're this, tiny dot that expands, and then you're like, after like years and years of practice, you're able to expand here, and there's more. There's a potential to be more, to embody more, to do more, to have more, what have you. And that's another time when you would come see a healer like me, because that yes, you can spend a couple more years and like push against those limits of the expansion. But sometimes you need someone to stand in and embody the inner healer that you are. I want to say that again. So in the private work, what I become is I am your healing self embodied, so that you can have a conversation with your inner healer through me. And I can be the mirror for you to see and feel and hear where those walls are, where you hit the limiting beliefs, the limiting points in your field, so that more expansion is possible. Sometimes all you need is to become aware of, oh, I didn't even know that I had this wall. Once you're aware of that wall, you can gently push through it. Sometimes it takes a little bit more effort and a little bit more work. But in either case, working with someone you trust to guide you, to support you, to hold space for you to expand and move beyond your wounds is invaluable. And as you do this work, you'll realize that sometimes you got to go see the healer before you hit the wall, because you kind of need to be vigilant about what may be in your blind side, what you may not be seeing and hearing and noticing, especially if you're someone working with other people on a healing capacity. If you're a healer yourself, it's super important that you invest the time and resources to get your own healing into place. So let's see. The other thing I want to say here is that I'm passionate about creating online courses, online programs, because I know that those are at your fingertips whenever you need them. Because it's so important that, okay, so you may come to me with this tiny small field, right? Tiny small field, all curled up in a ball, whatever you're going through, which is fine. I go through that several times a day. just as a healer, like I need to tend to myself several times a day. And I need to check in with myself several times a day. We all go through curling up in a ball and expansion, curling in a ball, and we choose expansion over and over again. But let's say that you come to me without having done the inner work or having the practices and the tools in your fingertips to be able to tend to your needs and address your vibrational disharmony in the time that it happens. like you just went into a horrible meeting, that something happened in your relationship, you argued with your husband, like there's a need right then and there for you to address the disharmony in your system. And if you don't do that and you come to me, what's going to happen is that if you had started in this small ball, and if you had tended to yourself, you would have been here. And with the work that we do together, you're going to expand beyond that. But if you come to me, in a tiny little ball that you are, that stress ball, all I can do is expand you maybe here. Okay? So it's not justice to me as a healer, because I know I can do so much more with you. But if you come to me like completely depleted and ask me to replenish your resources, that's not what I do. What I do is help you move beyond limits, enter into limitless expansion, move beyond wounds that you may not even be aware of. That's what I do. I don't want to be the one like hugging you when you're curled up in a ball, because you can do that. There are tools, again, like EFT tapping, acupressure tapping, guided meditations, breathing, somatic experiencing, what I call mantra dancing, noticing what's in your tissues. So you begin with the body, you move to the field, and then you work with your mindset. So there are so many tools that I will continue to teach in my online programs, because they're needed for you to get the most out of your healing experience with me or with any other healer that you choose. Let's also assume, you don't have time, resources, energy to work with a healer. I get that. I have been there, which is why I started with self-healing or do-it-yourself methods, which is also why I'm so passionate about this kind of support and having the tools and the practices in your life, because they make a huge difference in getting the quality of your life from stress, being curled up in a ball, being frozen, being in a fight or flight, to being embodied and having the energy to have a conversation with your child that doesn't end up in screams. Having the resources or the reserves to hold space when your partner tells you something. Having the resources to go to your work and actually be able to do the work that you're meant to do and supposed to do. So I really encourage you to take this time to think about what tools and practices you already have, and be willing and open to expand your repertoire, to add more tools and practices into it. And what I mean by that is this thing that we call life, and you can pick and choose. Like you can say, Damla, I took your course, like I liked 2 of the meditations, the other 4 were garbage, I'm just gonna throw them away. Fine, just work with those 2, and they're gonna make all the difference in your life. I want you to have this openness and willingness. And the other thing that I do as a healer is to remind you and keep reminding you that expansion is possible. Remember that dent in your field, relief is possible, resolution is possible. As soon as we get a wound, as soon as we get an unmet need, the way to meet that need and to resolve that wound in unlimited ways and possibilities and potentials also opens up in our energetic field. It just does. That's the vibrational reality of the universe. And I want you to be willing and open to those. And please, please, please go to my website, adropofom.com, ADROPOFOM.com. Remember, you are the drop of Om in a sea of Omness, and you have a chance and a responsibility to tend to your Omness, tend to your vibration, so you can begin to affect the others and the sea around you. And take a look at those resources, take a look at my online courses, because this is important. This is you taking a chance and saying, okay, or making a decision, taking a chance and making a decision and saying, my vibration matters. I can change and shift my vibration. And I know there are tools and practices out there, and I'm willing to try them in my life. And when you get stuck, you come and see me, or you find a healer that you trust, and don't wait to stay in that stuckness for another 2 years, another 3 years. This is the moment for you to take action, whether it's the do it yourself or self-healing, or whether it's working with a healer that you know and trust who would hold the healing space and embody the inner healer in you. This is your time to say, my needs matter. I'm going to take care of my vibrational reality. I'm going to tend to my nervous system. I don't want to live in a tight little ball. I have a chance to expand. So if you have any questions that you would like to share with me, please add them in comments. And please also, if this spoke to you in any way, please share this video, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel where I will continue to post videos like this to inspire you on your healing journey. And thank you so much for showing up and listening today. And I wish you well and all the goodness, all the juiciness, all the yumminess in your healing journey. Thank you.